Okay, so we all know that feeling of when you get paid at the end of the month and now you know that you have to save money, you have to invest, you have to pay off your debts. But some people find this daunting, so you just end up saving around 10% and spending the rest of the money. And by the end of next month, you don't know where all that money is gone. What if I told you that with 4 simple steps, there's a way to actually save up to 70% of your income, as well as paying off your bills, paying off your debts, and paying yourself as well. So that way you can spend money on anything that you actually want to without feeling guilty. First, you want to get 4 cards. One to pay yourself, the second is your primary card, which is going to be for your income and your expenses, the third is going to be for your savings, and the fourth is going to be for your biggest expense. This leads me up to step 2. You want to automate the entire process in every different card. So what I mean by this is you want your income to just come in, you want your savings to save itself, so you do not have to make the decision to do it. The primary reason to why you end up spending 50% of your income on something that isn't going to be relevant in the next 5 years is simply because you give yourself the choice to. Once you give yourself the choice and the option, you most likely go for whatever gives you that dopamine rush over something that matters in the next 5 years, because being humans, we usually just care about what's happening right now. So the first thing you want to do is calculate all your expenses. It's very, very important that you know exactly where your money is going. So for simplicity's sake, we're going to say that you're making $5,000 every single month, and your expenses is going to be about $3,000 every single month, because based on research, it shows that most people in the US and covering their housing expenses and food and everything else, it's usually around $3,000. So we're going to go with $3,000. So in this case, you would have $2,000 left, but you know that every single month you need to have at least $3,000 to survive, to pay for your bills, for food, and everything that is necessary. So these are going to be the necessary things that you have to pay for. Step 3, you want to pay yourself a generous 30% every single month. So this is going to be 30% of the $2,000 that you do have left. So you're going to pay yourself $600 to spend on whatsoever you want. It doesn't really matter where it is. You can spend it without feeling guilty, but this is going to be the amount that you have every single month to spend. The idea is you want to stick with this money. You're not going to be able to take any money out from your savings, from anywhere else when you do need it. So of course, do you spend the $600 throughout the month, then you're going to pay yourself again the month after that. Also, all of these is going to be automated in the sense that it's all going to be direct debits. You've already set it, so all of this will happen automatically. You're not going to be manually paying yourself $600, because what could happen is you end up talking yourself into paying yourself $1,000 because you want to buy another popcorn or Apple Watch or something that is literally useless. Step 4, you want to now save up the remaining 70%, which should be £1,400 if I did the maths correctly. Now, there are different ways of saving. I would not recommend having your money in the bank, so just take that out of the picture. But you can set up an ETF. You can either invest into dividend stocks, which is something I do, or you can invest into an ISA as well. But all of this is going to be set up as well from the savings card that you do have. So that's going to be your third card. So quickly taking a look at my dividends, so we can see this is my dividend stocks. I already have all of this set up, and all I have to do is send money here automatically. So money gets sent into this portfolio every single month, and when I'm ready to invest, the money is going to be there. So whatever money is in here, I do not withdraw. So it's almost like an entire bank on its own. This is going to be my dividend stocks. This is something you can also open. I've been working on this for several years now, so it's not something that I built up in a day. And then I have my ISA, which I have in the S&P 500 primarily. So I have an ISA set up as well. This also builds up by itself. I have everything set up, and the money gets taken from my savings card. It gets invested into the stocks as well automatically every single month or every single week. Everything just happens by itself. So this way, I don't even have to look at this. I can look at this now in the next 4 months and just to check on how it's doing. Like today, I haven't actually looked at this in some time, and now we can see that's actually doing well. The last time I checked, it wasn't doing so well. So you want to have something like this set up. This is more of my retirement. This is going to be something I'm not going to look at for a very, very, very long time. For the last step, I believe this is either step 4 or step 5. I mentioned that you need the fourth card. What's the fourth card for? The fourth card is for your biggest expense. So for me, in my case, this is currently my car. My car is probably charging me the most. It's taking the most amount of money from me every single month. So I have a separate card for this. Now, the reason for this is paying for something like your insurance, which I pay for every single year, rather than waiting for that time to come and I have to dump, 1K or 1.5, whatever it is, into my insurance right away. I'm saving money towards this every single month. So I have this set up where money is coming from my primary card, where all my money goes goes into and all my money goes out of and stuff, that goes out into this car card. Things like the money for gas that I spend roughly every single month, or sudden fixes, or my insurance or road tax, and anything to do with the car goes in there. So whenever I have anything to pay for in regards to the car, that money comes from there, and there's always going to be money ready for me. So in your case, this could be housing, this could be food, anything else. You want to have a separate card for this, just so you know it's easier to kind of take money from there rather than taking money out from your main general card and kind of messing up the entire system. So what is the flaw in the entire process? So one thing to note is personal finance is personal for a reason. So these values can change at any time. These values also depend on your lifestyle. You might have more expenses on something else, but the idea to this is a foundation to the entire system. It's going to work in a similar way. Some numbers might just need to increase, some numbers might need to decrease for you. All depends. If you do need more cards, of course, open more, but you get the idea. The point is to have all of these things occur by itself, so that way you do not have to make the decision, because once you do, that's when you usually overspend or you don't save as much as you need to. Now the second thing is this can generally all fall apart if you are not disciplined enough to a degree, because you can easily go into your main primary card, take out money from there, inject it into somewhere else, then mess up the entire thing, and just keep taking money out from your car card or wherever it is. So of course at that point there's no need for all of this. So that is the second flaw. But I do believe that this at least helps you if you're less disciplined, because then you're not really having to look at your cards every single time, especially for people who have one card. Once you have one card, it's very, very difficult to monitor where all your money is going, because you're just spending money from that card every single time. But overall, once the system is sorted out, now you can easily just focus on increasing your income. The moment you can increase your income, you're easily able to save up more, because your expenses are going to stay the same because you're not going to spend more, hopefully. So then you're left with just increasing your savings. The amount you're saving, you can just continue to increase that amount, and the more you save, the more you invest into an ETF like the S&P 500, gaining around 10% every single year, then you can clearly see that you're able to now compound your savings to earn even more money. As long as you keep your expenses low, increase your income, you can continue to save more and more and more. So soon enough, you would eventually join those who are able to save 70% of their entire income. So if you'd like to start a side hustle that will help you increase your income easily within the next hour, then you want to click on this video right here, and I'll see you in the next one.